Can dialogue take the place of guns and foster healing in our communities? That's the idea behind restorative justice, an approach that recognizes the needs of victims and perpetrators. To learn more, let's welcome Marshawn Hendricks, a conflict resolution facilitator for Harmony Chicago, an organization that uses restorative justice practices to create safe spaces. We also welcome Dion Turner, a senior at Kenwood High School and member of Teens Reaching All of Their Potential. We also welcome Lakeisha Hamilton, a student at McCormick Theological Seminary and a fellow at McCormick Center for Faith and Service. Thank you all for joining us. So, Marshawn, tell us a little bit about Harmony Chicago and how you incorporate restorative justice.
The name Harmony Chicago pretty much just symbolizes the mission and the goal and the purpose of the organization. How do we use the philosophy of restorative justice? How do we put that into practice to create a city that, not to say Chicago doesn't, but to create a city that intentionally provides for the needs of all of its citizens.
And you use peace circles, is that right? Tell us a little bit more about that.
So there's 5 phases of a peace circle. Getting acquainted, building relationships, establishing values and guidelines, discussing an issue, and then moving forward from that issue. It's a practice that removes barriers that usually and traditionally separates people, right? So it's a practice that illuminates humanity. It's a practice that can heal. It does heal. You know, it's a practice that, and I don't want to just say it's a practice that requires there to be issues, that it's a reactionary practice. No. Harmony Chicago, amongst a number of other organizations throughout the city, take a proactive approach when it comes to building relationships that's strong enough to prevent crime, prevent violence, misbehavior in the classrooms as well.
And Dion, tell us a little bit how you got involved with working with Harmony Chicago.
So as a teenager now and all that, I be finding more places to go on my spare time and all that. So it started around 2012. I came around Cherry Bishop Shepherd Little Memorial Center, and it was a thing called Project Relate that helped with teens, domestic violence, and talking about innate nature. So we didn't think nothing of it, and it was like we would go through the seminars and all that, and I think like, oh, we learning something, but at the end of the day, we learned something, and we took that knowledge and spread it around our community with our peers. So now instead of me getting my knowledge, my brother that's sitting to the left of me and my brother that's sitting to the right of me, they getting the same knowledge and the same power. That's how I got into it.
And tell us a little bit about that knowledge and what are you sharing with your peers?
Okay, knowledge I'm sharing with my peers is the first thing, like finding yourself in the art, not being a walking cliche, being original as possible you can be, and not being into the stereotypes that they try to play you into. And the other knowledge that I pass on to my peers is that help each other out. Don't hold the grudge towards other people in your community. Make sure that if she walking home by herself, you take care of your sister and make sure she get home. So that's what I'm passing on.
And Lakeisha, tell us a little bit about how you're getting involved in the peace circles and sharing this restorative justice idea.
So this past summer I was trained as a peace circle keeper, and since then I've worked with young people providing peace circles at a summer camp, and recently fellow colleagues have been saying that we need to do something more in response to the violence in Chicago. So they want to provide peace circles in the community all around the city of Chicago, whoever will open a door to us, where they're emerging faith leaders, not just seminarians, not just anyone from the Fruit of Islam or the Jewish community, all of us, anybody that is interested in being trained. Marshawn is going to train us, or those that need the training, so that we can provide that safe space for the community. So right now, the faith leaders are coming together trying to figure out how do we provide more. So we would like to be present for the loved ones that have lost members of their family, and also those that have committed the crimes. and we also want to be there for the community. So we have like 3 prongs that we're trying to address so that we can actually be present. And we feel like the circles will allow for that, the understanding of self, but also allow for others to come, release, and then we will better know how to mobilize together. And when we work with the families that are mourning, the loved ones, we would also like to assist them in creating support groups. You know, when a mother's father loses their child in the military, they have support groups. The parents are able to come together. We don't have that with all the violence going on. And so that's what the emerging faith leaders were working to be, the advocate for the community, so that we can speak on it, because people are holding in a lot of anger right now in regards to this violence, and we feel that the best place to release that is in a peace circle with a trained individual that knows how to handle and maybe 2 trained persons that know how to handle what's going to be dished out.
What difference have you seen when the trainers go out and do these peace circles? What kind of differences are you seeing in the community?
The big difference between having a peace circle with people that you serve instead of just like facilitating a typical workshop, right? The typical workshop, there's hierarchy in the space. You have the facilitator with the power, right? You have the participants who come just with the intentions of learning, right? The peace circle, it balances that hierarchy, right? Where the facilitator is a equal participant, and everything that the participants are asked to share, the facilitator shares as well, right? Giving permission to everyone to go deeper in some sense when it's time to share our stories, which creates that safe space.
What's your wish for these peace circles?
Oh, well, I don't got no wish. I got a goal that I'm trying to try to better half of my man. So what that mean is I'm better half of him, you, and you at the same time. In my whole life, humans is not set to hate each other or to do mean things to each other. They set to love and do bigger things. So what I'm trying to say is that when becoming a part of the peace circles or going to a church and all that, they give you that feeling of being comfortable in your own skin. You can sit there, laugh, cry, do everything with these people that hold these circles, because you might not do it with your family because your family might judge you or your friends might judge you. But when you come to these circles, you feel like, oh, this is my family. I can say whatever in mind, and they can help me whenever I need. If I can't get home on the bus, they go help me get home, get my bus fare. That's what they do.
Do you think it will make a difference in on our streets of Chicago and stopping the violence?
Yes, I believe that. I believe that so, because it goes show that all the stuff that they show on media or mainstream media today is just a depiction of violence and the badness of it. They don't show that 99% of urban prep kids are graduating from school, the African Americans. They ain't showing the positive that's in Chicago right now. So I think it'll show a good vibe from me.
And Lakeisha, how can faith leaders get involved if they were interested in getting a peace circle going?
Yes. Well, we've created an email group, email address. It's called Justice for Different Faces. And we named it that because only certain situations are getting publicity. So Justice for Different Faces @gmail.com.
Thank you all for joining us and sharing more about the peace circles. I appreciate you sharing your stories.
Thank you.
I'm Anne Marie Gerhardt for Different Drummers and the Greater Chicago Broadcast Ministries. Keep the faith.